Cars Mater National Championship is one of the games of my childhood. I used to come home from elementary school every day, play the game on the Wii, then in bed, I would also play the game on my DS, and hide it when I heard my mom walking down the hallway. Yeah, I might have been a little obsessed with cars, but anyways, in this series, I'll look at 3 versions of Cars Mater National Championship and see how they hold up today. There's the Game Boy Advance version, the Nintendo DS version, and the main version, which was released on Wii, PS2, PS3, Xbox 360, and PC. I'll be working my way up the hardware, so I'm starting with the GBA. Let's get started with the story. The story is basic. Lightning McQueen makes a championship. Mater forgets basic English and calls it the Mater National Championship. In this game, you must race around Carburetor County and meet 5 international racers: Otto van Fassenbottom from Germany, Gudmund from Sweden, Emma from the United Kingdom, Koji from Japan, and Giovanni from Italy. There really isn't too much here. The cutscenes are all text-based, with pre-rendered images of the scene to accompany the text. It's kinda boring, though it is standard for the platform. The graphics are surprisingly impressive for a GBA game. It looks kinda like a hybrid of the 2D Mode 7 graphics of the GBA/SNES and the 3D graphics of the Nintendo DS. Your character is a 3D model, and the ground is 3-dimensional. Other racers are still 2D sprites, but it helps the frame rate stay at a silky smooth about 10 frames a second. The parallax scrolling on the walls are a bit disorienting, but otherwise, the graphics are pretty good. Not as good as V-Rally 3's graphics, but it gets a pass. I'm also giving it bonus points for having tow cable physics. The character selection is pretty good. You got Lightning McQueen, Ramon, Sheriff, Luigi, Mater, Sarge, Lizzie, and Doc Hudson. Odd how Sally isn't playable, but Lizzie is, though I believe it is due to copyright reasons, since she is a Porsche or something along those lines. All of these characters are unlocked at the start. They all have acceleration, suspension, and speed at a base of 3 stars, plus 1 in one of the categories. Though I did not notice a difference in performance, there are also the 5 international characters I mentioned before, who are all unlocked after completing their respective tracks. They also have OP stats, with a base of 4 plus 1 extra star, excluding Giovanni, who has 5 stars across the board, but personally I can't tell a difference. It's possible they have an effect, it's just that I didn't notice one. The sound design and music are pretty decent for the hardware. No voice acting and very MIDI sounding instruments, and all the songs you hear in the game sound the same. Not exceptional, but not horrible either. Onto the gameplay, it's just meh. The controls are super basic. A to gas, B to brake, and D-pad to steer. That's it. You can hold A and B at the same time to power slide, but steer too hard and you'll do a full 180. And trust me, I've done this at least 5 times, 2 of which were in the same race, back to back. Aside from the controls, sometimes there's a little booster on the track that allows you to increase your speed temporarily. Other than that, it's strictly about driving for the most part. Nothing really too interesting there. Post-game content, spoiler alert, well, there's an expert mode. The CPUs are a little more difficult, but overall, it's still pretty easy. Only reason I gave up halfway through was because I was so bored, not because I just wasn't able to complete it. Odd quirks I noticed. In the promotional material and cutscenes, Lightning McQueen has the Rusty's logo on his hood and the 95 on the top of him, but that is nowhere to be seen on his model. The game uses a password system instead of a battery backup. That was not unusual for the platform, though cheap, since as far as I know, most GBA games, at least the first-party ones, use batteries. Interestingly, the passwords are characters from the Cars franchise. Lightning McQueen, Luigi, Flo, Mater, Sarge, Fillmore, Lizzie, and Doc Hudson are all characters on the password screen. Although, Flo and Fillmore are kind of the oddballs in the group, not being playable in this version in the game. While Mater has the tow cable physics I never expected of this game, I still don't recommend playing as him, as you have little to no visibility. His character model just covers most of the screen. You can't see past him. So what are my final thoughts on this game? I think it's an interesting game to play, but it is lacking in a lot of ways. The gameplay is as basic as it gets, and there's basically no progression. You played the first level, you played them all. The only challenge is trying not to shut off the game and play something else. The only reason to play this game is to see what a 2007 racing game would look like on such limited hardware. I guess I'll give this game a final modern day score of 2 wrecked Hudson Hornets out of 9. Anyways, next time, we'll be looking at more modern hardware for the time, the Nintendo DS version. Happy April Fools!